Boruto attacks with the power of a planet. Amado said that Code Without Limiters exceeds Jigen's ability, and that he actually removed Code's limiters. And now in Boruto 2, in the latest chapter 3, Code is fighting Boruto, and he's being hit from the power of this planet. And then Ada and Daemon are watching using her clairvoyance, and they're like, planetary spin attack? Or rather, it's the entire Earth this attack makes use of planetary spin. So basically, Boruto just low-diffed a Code Without Limiters. Not to mention, he also speed blitzed him, like he's just casually, by the looks of it, teleporting around Code. But he wasn't actually teleporting, he was just using his base speed. And Boruto even threatens to kill Code right then and there. And he thinks, he's joking. He thinks because Code in the past absolutely destroyed Boruto. But this isn't Boruto. And so he's just toying with him the entire time. And even says, I told you, killing you is easy. And according to Kawaki, it's been 3 years since the change of reality events. In other words, Ada changed all the memories and effectively the histories that everybody remembers in the Naruto verse. That is, Boruto is now the villain, the bad guy, and Kawaki is actually the 7th, or Naruto's son. And the current Hokage is Shikamaru. So in this time skip, we now see Boruto, his whole plan was to beat up Code and get him to run back to the Ten Tails for more power, and then basically track him. So that's what he's doing now. Mission accomplished, infiltration completed. And now basically Code's panicking because Boruto has access to the Ten Tails. Now we know that when anyone gets the power of the Ten Tails, they basically become ridiculously overpowered, because this is what happened to Kaguya. Now, this doesn't really change much in terms of the power scaling of the verse, because Code Without Limiters makes him stronger than Jigen, but Jigen is not stronger than Ishiki. Ishiki's power was so immense that it would be the end of the world. This is a very different description to what Amado gave for Jigen. Now, the fact that Boruto is basically soloing Code Without Limiters, and Code looked up to Ishiki because Ishiki was very powerful, it kind of means that Boruto potentially could be on Ishiki level in terms of power, which means that he could also be on Baryon mode Naruto power level, which means that Kawaki would also scale relative to Boruto, or Borushiki, or whatever you want to call him, Momoshiki for that matter. Which brings us back to the question between Momoshiki versus Ishiki, who would actually win? Because the thing is technically Momoshiki never died because he continues to exist, but within Boruto. Which also brings back the potential that Ishiki exists inside Kawaki, because Kawaki thinks that Boruto is the only one in the way. Not to mention that his karma is basically a messed up version of Ishiki's. And if Amado is actually working, or always has been working for Ishiki, this would mean that the karma that he put on Kawaki actually turned Kawaki into Ishiki's new vessel. And perhaps this entire time, Amado has been tricking the entire Naruto verse into thinking that Kawaki is his own being when he's actually got the influence of Ishiki inside of him. And this is why he makes comments like, oh, so you're an adopted Uchiha now. So this goes back to the original Boruto theory that this isn't a battle between Kawaki and Boruto. This is actually Momoshiki and Ishiki and their respective vessels. Which leads us back to the question, who do you think is stronger, Momoshiki or Ishiki? Because at the moment, it looks like Boruto is the one that is most calm, has speed blitzing abilities against Code, whereas Kawaki kind of looks like he struggles against Code. He also has the ability to mess with like planetary spin or whatever that means. We haven't really seen any of these planetary crazy attacks from Kawaki yet. But if Boruto is starting to tap into this planetary level attack power, he's able to easily defeat Code. And he could have killed him, but he wanted Code alive so that he could find the Ten Tails and extract the Ten Tails power and get even stronger again. Effectively leveling up and becoming something as powerful like the Asutsuki God. Now, given that the series is called Boruto, my money is on the fact that I think Momoshiki or Boruto is probably going to win out of these two.